So Jill, can you please tell me about yourself and a little bit about your company?
Sure. My name is Jill Hochstetler. I'm a senior logistics manager at Jarrett Logistics. We are a 3PL based in Orrville, Ohio. Very high service, high touch with our customers. And I have just completed my 10th year here. So pretty exciting and pretty big accomplishment.
Yay, that is super
Yes.
exciting. You got the Women in Supply Chain Award and the Pros to Know Award in 1 year.
I know.
I would say that's a success.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And so since you've been around the block a little bit, what are some attributes that you think a Pro to Know has?
So I think being resilient and adaptable, those are always two things that really come to mind, especially in our industry. Things change so quickly and you have to be able to react and come up with new strategies. There's always a new challenge, and just having that passion for innovating and figuring things out and kind of being creative, I think those are really, really important things.
Yeah, and if we have learned anything in this last year is that you have to be flexible
Yes.
to all these challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And so why do you think technology is becoming more important to the supply chain?
So I think in the time that I have worked in supply chain, we have used it to make more decisions. Having the data behind it, making those data-driven decisions allows us to be really proactive for our customers and to get ahead of a lot of those issues. For us at Jarrett, one of our big things has been connecting with carriers through an API connection. And really what that does is it gives us a lot of visibility that we can then share with our customer. I think consumer expectations have changed, especially over the last few years. So we want everything right now. And I know as soon as I order something, I'm already tracking it. So I think that's what businesses want too. They just want to see exactly where their product is, when their customer is going to get it. And that type of technology really allows us to do that.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that visibility is going to become even more important during the pandemic, because there's so many touches that are involved when it comes just to getting a package delivered to you that I don't even think people realize that.
Right. I don't think anyone realizes, you go online and you can order whatever you want, whenever you want, and then it just like magically appears at your doorstep.
Right.
I don't think anyone thinks about all the steps it takes and the process to actually get it to you. So I do think there's going to be more of a focus over just having that visibility, knowing exactly where the truck is. And we're seeing that now with consumer goods, where you can actually see, is the truck a street over and there are two more stops to you.
Mm-hmm. I just got that notification on an Amazon package the other day that it was 10 stops away. And I was like, this would have been way more beneficial when I was in like college or something.
Oh, right.
But I can see how it's hugely helpful, because I live in an apartment, but for other people in bigger cities that live in apartments or just like in the houses too, that it can help prevent theft as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
So what has changed since you first started? I know that you talked about visibility a little bit, but what else has changed in the industry in the last 10 years?
Honestly, a lot has changed. Here at Jarrett, everything that we do is different. A lot more is automated, and not to the point where we've reduced staff. It's just been automated to give our staff more knowledge, more tools to do what they do best, which is help our customer really solve problems. I think with the rise in e-commerce, we're seeing more need for final mile delivery, white glove delivery, more third-party warehousing, just things that we didn't see when I first started. I think just having the consumer buy more online and be more involved with supply chain, we're just seeing a shift there.
Oh, sorry. Muted myself because my dog started to go a little nuts. But what are some things that you think that people should know about the supply chain and why?
So I think just understanding how the supply chain impacts us every single day. I think the last year was a really great example where people started to understand when the supply chain closes down or slows down, it really stops goods. I mean, how many times did you go to the grocery store and they were out of a product that they always had? So it's just kind of understanding how supply chain really impacts our lives, and knowing again that once you order something online, it doesn't just magically appear at your doorstep. There are so many touches, so many places it travels. I think it just gives, I mean, it's really fascinating, I think, to people in the industry, how many terminals something goes through or how many people touch a certain product before it gets to you. And I think understanding that just gives everyone a better view of how our world works.
Mm-hmm. Especially with some of the products that were out of stock for so long too. Like, I feel like Clorox wipes are just gold.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
whenever I see them at the store, I'm like, I have to get them. I don't know when
Uh-huh.
they'll be back.
Yeah, and toilet paper, I mean, that was such a weird one, but you know, every time you go to the store, it's like the shelves are bare for common necessities. But I think it's just understanding how supply chain really impacts those day-to-day things.
Right. So, how does being involved in some industry organizations help you make your decisions at work as well?
So I think it gives me a more balanced viewpoint and a different perspective. Supply chain really impacts all different aspects of a business. And I think people didn't understand that a long time ago and even a couple of years ago. So it's becoming a lot more just involved. Um, and knowing and understanding those different industries just gives me more tools and more solutions that I can provide to my customer.
Because remind me, you said that you've been at Jarrett since you started out,
Yes.
right?
Yep. So
How,
always in the 3PL space.
right. And then what have you done to provide problem solving solutions to the industry?
So we really focus on creating efficiencies, both for ourselves and for our customers. So really just trying to find ways to save time, to streamline our customer supply chain. Most recently, one of the projects that I worked on was implementing an artificial intelligence tool. So that was really cool because it gave our coordinators here information at their fingertips, things that would normally take them much longer to quote out and much more time. Is now just immediate, and they can quote a spot market truckload rate and move on, book it, and then go on with their day. So it's been really cool with that project just to kind of see how AI works in the supply chain space.
Yeah, and I think it's only gonna get bigger
Mm-hmm.
now. Especially, I hate that I keep on bringing up the pandemic, but a lot of companies lean on software solutions to like keep their businesses going
Yeah.
at this time. And I feel like AI was one of those huge things that people were already like planning on implementing, but then once the pandemic started, they really like pushed it forward.
For sure. And even at Jarrett, you know, our software was created by us. So it really gives us the ability to make changes quickly because we have our in-house developers. So if a customer has an idea or something that they need to make their business better, it's not that we have this out of the box solution where we can't add on to it. So that's been really nice. And something that I really like about Jarrett is that we can really make those changes quickly.
And so, what are some other challenges that you have faced in the industry? And if so, how did you overcome them?
So I think recently capacity has been the biggest challenge. We've seen driver shortages, truck shortages, impacts due to COVID last year, and then recently all of the devastating weather in Texas has been a huge impact. So just trying to figure out how we're actually going to get our customers' freight moving when everybody else has the same amount of freight sitting on their dock. How do we get our customers' freight on the truck? So we figured out just using different modes of transportation, using a diverse carrier network, and trying to really leverage just all of those different things to get shipments moving.
Right, because shipping is probably like the if not if it's not the most important is up there.
Right.
and being the most important, because people really rely on that, because that's how you get your goods
Right.
too.
And ultimately, you know, our customers need their products on the shelf. And if their product is not on the shelf, the consumer might buy something from a competitor. So we need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make sure their products are there and available and still being bought, because we want to grow with them.
Right. And then what is some advice that you have for those first, like starting out in the industry?
So my advice would be just to learn everything that you can. Our industry is going to be here for the long haul, and there are a ton of opportunities that I don't think people really understand when they hear supply chain. I know I used to think warehousing, driving a forklift, all of these things that are part of it, but there's so much more to it. I would have never thought that I would be in this industry, and now I don't see myself anywhere else. So I think it's one of those things, like once you get into it and you really learn everything you can, it's just really exciting, and there's a ton of growth opportunity.
And it's so broad. There is
Yes.
a place for everyone. I truly believe that you don't go out seeking the supply chain and find
Yeah.
But Jill, since we are running a little short on time, and as you know, for me having to pause a few times, my dogs are going a little nuts. But what does it mean to you to be selected as one of our pros to knows?
You know, it feels great to be selected, and it's really about the company that I'm with. It's an honor to be included in the same group. We've had some great nominees and award winners in the past from Jarrett, and it's pretty awesome to be in that group. It's also a really great testament to my team and everything that they do, because I can't do all of this on my own. And if it wasn't for them, there's no way that we could get everything accomplished. So it's really cool for us to all kind of share in this.
Oh, that's very nice and humble of
Oh,
you. But thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to me, Jill. I
yeah.
really appreciate it. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, thank you for having me.
It was great being able to speak with you again. Thank you so much.
Thanks.